Hey everyone, ready to dive deep into the world of the Fantastic Four? First Steps? Released on July 25, 2025. This film has sparked endless discussions, and today, we're uncovering every thrilling detail. If you enjoy this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us grow. And for more incredible movie explorations and hidden gems, subscribe to the channel. Now, let's unravel the magic behind this cinematic masterpiece. From the moment the screen lights up with that retro Marvel Studios logo, tinted in bold reds and mod blues, you know this isn't your average superhero flick. Set in the stylized, retrofuturistic 1960s of Earth 828, First Steps boldly introduces us to a world that feels like a blend of the Jetsons, Mad Men, and a splash of classic sci-fi comic art. But what truly sets it apart is that we meet the Fantastic Four not during their transformation, but years after they've already become legends. Reed Richards, played with quiet intensity and nervous charm by Pedro Pascal, is deep in research trying to stabilize cosmic anomalies threatening the universe. At his side is Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, who brings emotional gravity and quiet steel to the team, especially as she grapples with being pregnant in the midst of planetary chaos. Their chemistry is subtle, intimate, and laced with quiet tragedy. The kind that doesn't scream, but simmers. Eben Mossbackrack steps into the role of Ben Grimm, aka the Thing, with unexpected warmth and wit. His performance is perhaps the most human of all, grounding the film with a soulfulness that transcends the CGI shell he inhabits. Then there's Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, playing the Firestarter with chaotic charisma, bravado, and that younger brother energy that often teeters between hilarity and heartbreak. What's brilliant is how the film wastes no time on origin cliches. Instead, it plunges us into a story where the four are already celebrated and, crucially, already fraying. Their bonds are strong, but strained by time, trauma, and secrets. You can feel the weight of unspoken past events. Reed's obsession with multiversal data isn't just scientific. It's personal. Sue's uncertainty about raising a child in this reality mirrors the film's larger existential tension. And Johnny's reckless antics? They're a coping mechanism. The villain, or rather the force, that challenges them is Galactus, played in motion capture and voiced by Ralph Ineson, whose gravel-toned voice sends shivers. But Galactus isn't portrayed as an evil tyrant. He's an elemental force, cosmic and unknowable. Through his herald, Julia Garner's Silver Surfer, we glimpse a haunting loneliness, a reminder that even gods and destroyers carry burdens. The visual style is a triumph. Every frame is infused with that 60s sci-fi paperback cover energy, chrome-plated laboratories, floating highways, neon data orbs, and yet nothing feels kitschy. Director Matt Shakman and production designer Kasra Farhani thread the needle between nostalgia and innovation. Galactus' arrival sequence? Pure cinema. His form eclipses the atmosphere, cosmic radiation bending reality itself. Time slows, colors invert, and silence becomes deafening. Michael Giacchino's score soars, a sweeping blend of theremin-infused orchestration and melancholic strings. There's one cue, during a scene where Sue and Reed read to their unborn child using a holographic storybook, that plays a gentle lullaby against the cold vacuum of space. It's breathtaking, but it's the emotional beats that truly land. Sue's arc crescendos in a moment of sacrifice so powerful it sent ripple effects through online fandoms. In the climax, as Galactus prepares to consume Earth, Sue uses her powers in an unprecedented way, expanding her invisibility field to encompass the planet, effectively hiding Earth from Galactus' perception at the cost of her life. Or so it seems. What follows is one of the most controversial and talked about moments in recent superhero cinema. Their newborn son, Franklin, channels raw cosmic energy, inherited from the storm that altered their DNA, and rewrites the event. It's a poetic inversion of the mother's sacrifice trope, suggesting that legacy and love can rewrite fate. The post-credits? Oh, it's a doozy. Reed receives a message, buried in a time loop, from a variant of himself warning of an incoming collapse. But it's not Kong. It's Doom. We only see a silhouette, a cloak, a gauntlet, a flicker of green light, but that's all it takes. The crowd reaction in theaters was thunderous. This film also sets the stage for the wider MCU Phase 6. We already know it will tie directly into Avengers, Doomsday, and eventually Secret Wars. But what's more exciting is how this movie felt personal. It didn't just world build, it heart built. It gave us a family fractured, healing, surviving. There's a moment near the end, just before the credits roll, where the camera pans over their now repaired home, and the four stand on the roof, watching the stars. No dialogue, just music, just unity. That image lingers long after the lights come up. The Fantastic Four, First Steps isn't just a reboot. It's a reimagining done right. Emotional without being manipulative. Bold without being chaotic. And above all, it remembers what made these characters endure for decades. They're not just heroes. They're family. Imagine this. It's July 25th, 2025. Moviegoers across the world are filing into packed theaters. There's a buzz in the air, one that feels different. Less about franchise fatigue, more about a long-awaited return. On the big screen, the retro-styled Marvel Studios logo flickers in bold reds and blues, ushering in a story the MCU has never quite told this way before. The Fantastic Four, First Steps isn't just another superhero film. It's a cinematic reset, a fresh origin not from scratch, but from a point of maturity, introducing Marvel's first family not as newly powered amateurs, but as seasoned legends with years of history, secrets, and scars. It's not just a film, it's a statement, and audiences knew immediately. This one was different. Set on Earth, 828, a stylish alternate timeline wrapped in 1960s retrofuturism, First Steps plunges us into a world where the Fantastic Four have already made their mark. Flying cars dot the skyline, chrome-covered labs pulse with neon energy, and analog computers hum with cosmic data. There's a distinct tone right from the start, somewhere between science fiction and family drama, a blend of whimsy and tension that's both fresh and nostalgic. And within this beautifully crafted world, we meet our heroes at a moment of profound transition. Not at the birth of their powers, but at the beginning of something deeper. Parenthood, legacy, and the question of whether even the strongest bonds can survive what's coming. Pedro Pascal leads the cast as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, a brilliant mind haunted not by failure, but by possibility. His version of Reed is cautious and quietly tormented, a man who sees futures unraveling and cannot stop calculating the odds. Opposite him, Vanessa Kirby delivers a powerhouse performance as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, whose strength is equal parts emotional and physical. She's the film's moral compass, its heart, and its greatest source of conflict. Their marriage is real and raw, complicated by the announcement that Sue is pregnant with a child who might be more powerful than any of them understand. Their child's conception, born of cosmic radiation, becomes a central mystery, hope and danger intertwined. Then there's Johnny Storm, played by Joseph Quinn, a human torch of pure charisma and kinetic energy. His character arc is beautifully handled, starting as the showboating kid brother and slowly evolving into someone fiercely protective of his family, with layers of insecurity buried beneath the flame. Eben Mossbackrack as Ben Grimm, the Thing, is the soul of the team. His performance, under layers of prosthetics and visual effects, is rich with warmth, humor, and heartbreak. His relationships with each team member are deeply felt, but his connection with Sue in particular resonates in quiet, surprising ways. Together, they're a fully formed unit. You believe in their shared history before a word is spoken. The plot unfolds with careful pacing. After 4 years of peace and technological advancement led by Reed's innovations, Earth 828 is rocked by a cosmic anomaly. A message from the stars in the form of a silver comet. It's not a threat, yet it's a warning. Enter Julia Garner's Silver Surfer, a hauntingly graceful herald of destruction. Her arrival doesn't bring explosions, it brings questions. She doesn't speak much, but every word drips with regret. She isn't evil. She's a messenger. Behind her looms Galactus, an ancient, incomprehensible force of cosmic consumption. But Galactus isn't just another big villain. He's presented less as a personality and more as a natural disaster, a black hole with a will. The film wisely avoids humanizing him too much. He's unknowable, and that makes him terrifying. Ralph Ineson voices him with deep, resonant menace, sounding not like a man, but like the universe itself deciding it's hungry. His demand, the life of the unborn child, not as vengeance but necessity. The child, it turns out, may be capable of either cosmic balance or cosmic collapse. That's where the film pivots into deeper thematic territory. At its core, First Steps is about choice, about family, about sacrifice. What do you do when your existence threatens everything? What do you risk to protect what you love? It's these questions that elevate the film beyond typical MCU fare. The climax is not a matter of punching harder. It's about trust, surrender, and ultimately rebirth. Visually, the film is a feast. Director Matt Shakman crafts a world that is as gorgeous as it is immersive. Think brushed metal labs, color-coded data streams, and cosmic fields that ripple with kaleidoscopic wonder. The retro-futuristic aesthetic doesn't just look cool. It reinforces the film's tone. It feels like we're watching a pulp magazine come to life, infused with the emotional depth of a prestige drama. Every frame has a purpose. Nothing feels designed just for spectacle, it's all in service of story. And the story is anchored by its emotional core. Reed and Sue's relationship is the film's beating heart. Their arguments are tender, not explosive. Their love feels lived in. One of the most moving sequences occurs late in the film, when Sue uses her powers not to fight, but to hide the planet from Galactus' gaze, extending an invisibility field so massive it begins to crush her body from the strain. She does it willingly, whispering to Reed through their comms that she has to do this, for their child, for the world. It's heartbreaking, and just when you think she's gone, the film twists. The child, Franklin, is born amidst chaos. His birth triggers a cosmic pulse, one that echoes across dimensions. In a stunning moment of silent brilliance, he looks at his mother's lifeless body and brings her back, not with a blast of power, but with a small, radiant touch. A new cosmic being, born from love and sacrifice. It's bold, emotional, and completely in line with what the Fantastic Four have always represented. Hope. That moment, Sue's resurrection, is already one of the most talked about scenes of the year. It sparked debates, fan theories, even academic essays about the subversion of traditional mother dies to save the child tropes. Here, motherhood isn't the end. It's the beginning. The child doesn't take from the mother. He gives back. It's a powerful reversal of genre expectations, and one that continues to ripple through MCU fandom. And speaking of fandom, the cultural impact of First Steps cannot be overstated. This wasn't just a box office success, it became a conversation. With a $218 million global opening weekend, it's one of Marvel's biggest hits in recent years. But more than that, it sparked a return of event cinema. People weren't just watching it, they were experiencing it. Dressing up, revisiting comics, analyzing every line of dialogue, dissecting its thematic weight. The Fantastic Four were no longer that other Marvel team. They were back, and this time they mattered. Critics praised the film for its ensemble chemistry, tight runtime, and emotional depth. Audiences connected with it on a level that surprised even longtime fans. Part of its power lies in how self-contained it feels. You don't need to know the multiverse rules or Kang's time travel mechanics. This is a story about four people, connected by science, by love, and by fate, trying to navigate a world that keeps asking more of them. And in doing so, it becomes deeply universal. The post-credits scenes hint at more to come. A mysterious silhouette appears, cloaked, regal, watching from a ruined timeline. Dr. Doom. His presence is felt, even without a full reveal. It's a perfect tease, and a clear signal that Marvel is playing the long game. But even without him, the story of First Steps stands strong on its own. Ultimately, this film succeeds because it understands what the Fantastic Four are really about. Not just powers, not just villains, but people, family, discovery, the unknown. It recaptures the original spirit of the comics, Not just with visual fidelity, but with emotional clarity. It's about venturing into the cosmos and returning changed. About being afraid of the future, but choosing to step forward anyway. The movie opens with a view of Earth 828, a version of our world stuck in the 1960s but filled with advanced technology. Skyscrapers shine with chrome, cars fly through the air, and news broadcasts call 4 people the greatest heroes in history. These 4 are already famous: Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm, the Fantastic Four. But they aren't flying around saving cities. First, everything feels calm. Too calm. That's the first hint something big is coming. Reed Richards is deep in his lab. He's not building weapons or suits, he's studying something strange. He's found a cosmic pattern that seems to be repeating through the multiverse. It's not just energy. It's something alive, something coming. Reed looks tired, but he keeps going. He's not trying to be a hero right now. He's trying to protect his family from a future he doesn't fully understand. Meanwhile, Sue Storm is trying to find peace. She's pregnant. But she's not just worried about being a mom. She knows their child might be different. Cosmic rays gave them powers, but what would it do to someone born from it? She hides her fear behind calm, but her eyes say everything. She and Reed argue gently, but it's real. She wants him to be present. He's focused on saving the world. Johnny Storm is the opposite of calm. He's fast, loud, and wild. We meet him during a stunt where he flies into a volcano, literally, to save a research drone. Cameras follow him, fans cheer, and he loves it. But behind the smiles, he's hiding something. He feels left out. Reed and Sue are busy with the baby. Ben seems to be drifting too. Johnny's still acting like a kid because he doesn't want to face the fact that everything is changing. Ben Grimm, the Thing, is the heart of the group. He spends his days helping local kids and repairing their old spacecraft. He misses the old days when the 4 of them were a team. Now they feel scattered. He's close with Sue, he sees her fear. He talks to Reed, tries to get him to slow down, but it's no use. Something's coming, and they can all feel it, even if they're not saying it out loud. Then it happens. A bright silver light flashes through the sky. First, it looks like a comet, but it moves too smoothly. Too fast. Crashes just outside the city. No explosion. Just a strange pulse that knocks out electronics for miles. The Fantastic Four are called in. Reed studies the crash site. There's a crater but no impact. Instead, there's a figure floating, calm, silent, glowing silver. The Silver Surfer has arrived. She speaks only one sentence. He is coming. Reed knows what she means. He's seen the signals in the sky. Cosmic storms. Star systems disappearing. He thought it was theory. Now it's real. They bring the surfer to the Baxter building. She won't attack. She barely speaks. But when she does, her words are cold and sad. Galactus consumes. I only warn. She's not here to hurt Earth. She's here to prepare it for destruction. This is the moment the story shifts. Reed tries to understand the science. He digs deeper into cosmic energy. He finds something strange, patterns in Sue's pregnancy data. Their child isn't just a baby. The cosmic energy inside him is growing, reacting, and the surfer confirms it. Galactus feeds on energy like this. He's not here to destroy Earth for fun. He's here to consume what's inside Sue's unborn child. Sue is furious. Not just scared, furious. She demands answers. Reed admits he's known for weeks that something was wrong. He didn't say anything because he was trying to fix it. This breaks her trust. For a moment, they seem more like strangers than partners. But the danger is too big for them to fall apart now. Johnny takes the news hard. He jokes to cover it up, but deep down he blames Reed. He thinks Reed's obsession with the multiverse has made him cold. Ben, always the peacemaker, tries to hold the team together. But even he feels it, this might be too big for them. And then Earth starts to change. Skies flicker with strange colors. Birds fly in wrong directions. Time feels slower in some places, faster in others. People panic. The president calls the Fantastic Four. Reed is forced to go public. In a broadcast, he tells the world the truth. Galactus is coming, and they have days, maybe hours, before he reaches Earth. The world erupts into fear. Some call Reed a liar. Others beg the Four to stop it. Religious groups say it's the end times. The Fantastic Four are no longer just heroes. They're the last hope of humanity. Reed, desperate for solutions, turns to old tech. He wants to build a shield that can hide Earth's energy signature. But the power needed is too great. The only possible source is inside Sue and the baby. He doesn't want to use it, but it might be the only chance. Sue refuses. She will not let their child be used like a weapon. This becomes the team's biggest split yet. Reed wants to save Earth. Sue wants to protect their family. Johnny agrees with Sue. Ben doesn't know what to think. As the argument grows, the surfer speaks again. She tells them there is another way, but it's dangerous. Galactus can be distracted. He follows energy. If something stronger than Earth appears elsewhere, he might follow it. But to do that, someone would have to carry that energy, and probably die doing it. Johnny volunteers. He says he's the only one who can handle that kind of heat. It's a big moment. The first time Johnny stops joking. The first time he puts the team above himself. Sue begs him not to. Reed says it won't work. The plan is risky, and no one knows what it would do to him. Before they can decide, everything changes. The surfer vanishes. At first, they think she's escaped. But Reed finds signs of a signal. Someone pulled her away. They realize Galactus is getting closer. He knows they're planning something. And now he's speeding up. The countdown begins. In the last major scene of the first half, the team goes into space. Reed believes he can send a pulse to delay Galactus using the energy inside a cosmic satellite they built years ago. But when they reach it, they find someone waiting. Shalabal. She's another herald. One who has served Galactus for centuries. She's more powerful than the surfer, and cruel. She mocks their efforts, saying Earth is already lost. She attacks. The battle is brutal. Ben nearly dies. Johnny burns so hot the ship almost explodes. Sue tries to shield them all, but she's pushed to her limit. In the chaos, Reed is forced to make a choice. Use the energy from the satellite to boost his signal or to save Sue and the baby. He chooses his family. The satellite is destroyed. The plan fails, and the screen fades to black as Galactus opens his eyes. It all begins on Earth 828, a retrofuturistic world that looks like a 1960s comic come to life. Flying cars glide past chrome skyscrapers, and everyone already knows the names of the Fantastic Four. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. They aren't new to hero work. People call them legends. But something unsettles the air, and you feel it, though no one speaks it yet. Reed Richards sits in his lab, surrounded by glowing screens tracking a repeating cosmic pattern. He looks tired, haunted even. He's not thinking about fame or applause. He's thinking about a warning, something vast out there moving through the multiverse like a ghost. It's the kind of thing you don't speak of unless it's unstoppable. Across town, Sue Storm quietly supports her family. She's calm, centered, but something inside her pulses with fear. She's pregnant with their first child. Every kick, every small sign of life carries weight. She doesn't freak out, but inside, she wonders, will this baby be safe? Or could the cosmic energy that gave them powers hurt their family in ways they can't yet see? Johnny Storm crashes into view flying through a volcano crater. Flames blazing, cameras rolling. He's showmanship turned living flame. The crowd cheers. He lives for the thrill. But deep down, he's avoiding something deeper. Fear, loss, a future he isn't ready for. Reed and Sue are focused on the child and the threat. Ben Grimm is growing distant too. Johnny thinks he's losing them. Ben Grimm, the Thing, spends his days helping children repair old tech in his rocky, powerful form. He laughs with them, tells stories, but every time he smiles, there's sadness behind his eyes. He misses being in sync with the others, working side by side. He and Sue share a worry that runs deeper than words. Then the sky shivers. A bright silver flash appears overhead. No explosion, but a pulse knocks out lights and electronics. A single figure floats at the crash site. It's a being of living metal. Graceful, silent. She's powerful. She speaks one sentence, He is coming. Reed's face falls. He knows. He said it might happen. Now it's real. The Silver Surfer is here to warn them. Not to fight, just to speak. They bring her to the Baxter building. She doesn't resist. She doesn't speak more. But her voice echoes. Galactus consumes. I only warn. She's sad. She's direct. She's not angry. She's a messenger. Because Galactus, a cosmic force beyond comprehension, sees Earth as energy, and specifically, as energy inside Sue's unborn child. That's when the team fracturing begins. Reed wants answers and action. He buries himself in his studies. He learns new things about cosmic waves, embryo growth, and multiversal resonance. He sees patterns in Sue's pregnancy data the way a detective sees clues. He sees danger. He doesn't want to alarm her yet, he's trying to protect them. But secrets build walls. Sue, once she finds out, feels betrayed. She wants trust. She wants family. She's furious but wounded. She doesn't want to fight Reed. She wants him to show up. Reed is torn between global crisis and personal heartbreak, between fatherhood and duty. Suddenly, their home feels like two strangers separated by cosmic distance. Johnny tries to break it all with humor. He challenges Reed, calls him cold, distant. He argues that they've lost Reed to some impossible equation. He tries to protect Sue. But in all the jokes is fear that the world is about to change, and he might be left behind. Ben tries to hold them together. He speaks softly into the chaos. He reminds them of who they were. He refuses to let what comes pull them apart. But for the first time, he worries that even his own strength won't be enough. Electronics and lights flicker across cities. Time warps. Strange colors stain the skies. Panic spreads. Reed has to make a broadcast. He speaks to the world. Galactus is coming. We only have days. And just like that, hope turns to chaos. Fear turns to blame. Some call him a hero. Others call him a herald of doom. Reed proposes a solution, a shield of invisibility built from cosmic energy. It would hide Earth's energy signature from Galactus long enough. But the only energy source strong enough is inside Sue's unborn child. The cost is unimaginable. Sue refuses. She will not let their child be sacrificed. Reed sees it as the only way. Their conflict becomes urgent. Their love heavy with danger. The Silver Surfer appears again and says there may be another path. A distraction. An offering far away. Someone could carry that cosmic energy elsewhere, draw Galactus off Earth. It would be dangerous, likely fatal. Johnny volunteers without hesitation. He says he can handle the heat. He offers himself as bait. It's brave. It's fear. It means more than anyone understands. The team hesitates. It's reckless. It's heroic. Tears them apart even as it binds them. Sue begs him not to go. Reed argues the math. Ben stands torn between both. Before they can decide, the surfer vanishes. Reed detects that she was summoned away by Galactus himself. That means he's accelerating. That means there may be no time. In a bold move, the team launches into space on a plan to send a trigger pulse from an old cosmic satellite to distract Galactus. They navigate cosmic weather, fly through auroras, and race against black holes. The satellite holds potential. If triggered right, it might slow Galactus long enough for Earth to hide. But when they dock, they find they're not alone. Shalabal steps out of the shadows. A sinister herald with power beyond the surfers. She mockingly greets them, calling their heroics futile. She reveals she's served Galactus longer than anyone knows. She unleashes energy blasts powerful enough to shred ships. The battle turns brutal. Ben fights with strength and heartbreak, nearly sacrificed. Johnny burns so brightly the ship overheats. Sue struggles to shield them. Reed races to keep the systems alive. Their plan collapses into chaos. In the moment of truth, Reed chooses his heart. He reroutes power to save Sue. Let the satellite die. The plan fails. Their gamble collapses. And just before they break contact and retreat, they see something impossible. Galactus opens one eye, and the inevitable final threat becomes painfully real. The story opens in Earth 828, a beautiful alternate world where chrome towers whisper of the 1960s, but technology hums with futuristic energy. People already know the Fantastic Four by name: Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. They are famous. They are trusted. And yet something heavy lies just beyond the horizon. A silent warning waiting to break. Reed Richards sits in his laboratory, surrounded by glowing screens and strange data. He is tracking repeating patterns in cosmic waves. He doesn't sleep much. He doesn't smile much. His obsession isn't for glory. He's trying to read the future, to stop what he fears is coming. There is a light flicker in his eyes, equal parts determination and dread. Sue Storm, Reed's partner, moves through the day with quiet strength. She is pregnant. A child is coming. That child carries power, powers they already possess. But pregnancy makes everything feel fragile. Sue tells Reed she loves him but also needs support. He promises attention. But as Reed buries himself in cosmic research, Sue feels alone. She punches a pillow in frustration. She wants truth. Reed wants hope. Johnny Storm is the opposite of calm. He races through the city sky, flames trailing behind him. Fans cheer. He thrives on speed and applause. But in quieter moments, he drifts. He plays pranks. He cracks jokes. He pretends everything is fine because change scares him. Reed and Sue focus on family. Ben drifts in his own thoughts. Johnny imagines himself fading away. Ben Grimm, the Thing, has built a small community space for local kids. He laughs. He encourages them to build old-tech gadgets. Under his stone hide, he carries nostalgia. How it used to be, how them four used to be tight. He checks in on Reed and Sue often. He sees that something has built between them, distance. Then the sky shifts, a flash of silver light. No crash, no thunder, but power lines snap. Lights die. A single figure floats gently down onto Earth, more beautiful than any alien war machine. She is the Silver Surfer, calm, grieving. She speaks only once. He is coming. Reed's breath stops. He has seen this pattern before. Vast cosmic signals. Vanished worlds. Now it is real. The surfer is a warning, not an attack. She is collected and sad. She won't fight. They bring her to their base. She quietly surveys everything. Then she speaks again. Galactus consumes. I only remind. The words are simple. The message is terrifying. Galactus is a force beyond life and death. He is an engine of consumption. And he sees Earth as food, not just Earth, but the energy brewing inside Sue's child. This revelation breaks the team apart. Reed studies data faster. Sue tries to hold her ground. She demands honesty. She wants control. She is protecting their child. Reed says he withheld fears because he hoped he could fix things quietly. They argue, and heartbreak pulses between them. Johnny tries to break the tension. He belts out loud jokes. He challenges Reed and demands Reed look at him. Reed flinches but doesn't cry. Johnny feels that Reed is slipping away. He despises the pattern. Reed gets quiet. Sue gets isolated. Johnny stays numbing himself with fire. Ben steps in gently. He reminds them of moments of friendship. He whispers that they are stronger together. Strange things happen across cities. Light warps. People go quiet. Colors shift unexpectedly. Time warps near Reed's lab. Panic spreads. Reed has to break the silence. He goes on national broadcast and tells the world, Galactus is coming. We may have days or hours. Response is a shockwave. Some believe him. Some panic. Some call for him to be arrested. Reed proposes a plan. Create a giant cosmic shield. Hide Earth's energy signature from Galactus long enough for him to pass. But to build it, they need a huge energy source. The only place it exists is inside Sue's child. Sue hears them discussing it. She refuses. Not an option. Love means boundaries. The team fractures. Reed thinks of saving billions. Sue thinks of saving one precious life. Johnny backs Sue. Ben stands unaligned. Reed grows cold. Sue grows fierce. Johnny cries in solitude. Ben builds a cradle in the kids' workshop and paints a mural of 4 heroes smiling again. Then the Silver Surfer returns. She hints at another choice. Distract Galactus with a decoy. Someone could carry the cosmic resonance away. A sacrifice, but maybe not forever. Johnny steps forward without pause. He says he can channel the energy. He will be the bait. His fires will burn and draw Galactus away. No question. No hesitation. He shatters them. Sue begs him not to go. Reed advises restraint. Ben understands both. Before they reach a final decision, the surfer disappears. Her energy traces are pulled through a signal. That means Galactus called her. He is accelerating time. They have less than they thought. Inside the revamped Baxter ship, the 4 travel into space on an old cosmic satellite they built years ago. The sleek, color-coded, humming with possibility. If they can send a pulse from it through Reed's transmitter, they might confuse Galactus. They fly through auroras and gravity ripples. Reed recalibrates. Sue watches their unborn son move inside her. Johnny hovers near her, hand trembling. Ben steadies everything from the rear, but docking doesn't go as planned. The satellite door opens. The figure steps out. Shalabal. She is ice and fury. A herald older and stronger than the surfer. She mocks their plan. She says Galactus is inevitable. She fires energy that tears the ship apart. Reed scrambles to reroute power. Sue shields others at cost to herself. Johnny burns brighter than ever. Ben vibrates through blast shock. Their pulse goes off but distorted. The plan fails. In the chaos, Reed cancels the signal and redirects power to save Sue and their child. The satellite implodes. Systems shut down. They break contact and drift into the void. And just before fade, they see it. An enormous eye-opening in the darkness. Galactus is awake. He's coming fast. From the start, it's clear this isn't just another superhero film. It's a story about people. People with powers, yes, but also with fears, regrets, love, and hope. At the center is Sue Storm, the emotional heart of the team. She's not just a hero. She's a mother-to-be. Every decision she makes carries more weight now because she's thinking not just of saving the world, but of saving her child. You can feel her strength in every word she speaks and every shield she throws. Her powers, being invisible and creating force fields, mirror her emotions. Sometimes she hides them. Sometimes she uses them to protect others. Her journey is about control, choice, and courage. She starts as a quiet but strong presence and slowly takes command, showing she's not only the team's heart, she's its anchor. Reed Richards is the brain of the group. He's brilliant and always thinking, always planning. But that brilliance can make him distant. At first, he hides his fears behind data and formulas, trying to protect Sue without scaring her. But hiding things makes him seem cold. He wants to do the right thing, but he struggles with how to show it. As danger grows and Sue demands honesty, Reed begins to open up. He changes from a man of science into a man of feeling. His transformation isn't sudden. It's slow and painful, but real. You see it in his choices. He stops trying to control everything and starts trusting his team, especially Sue. Then there's Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. He's full of fire, jokes, and energy. On the surface, he's the fun one, the one who lights up the sky and gets all the attention. But deep inside, Johnny's afraid. He sees the team changing. Reed is busy with work. Sue is focused on the baby. And Ben is pulling away. Johnny feels like he's being left behind. So he jokes, shows off, and acts like nothing's wrong. But he also listens, especially to Sue. He supports her, stands up for her, and in the end, he offers to do the unthinkable, to take the risk no one else wants to. That moment shows how much he's grown. He becomes a true hero not by being flashy, but by being selfless. Ben Grimm, also known as the Thing, brings soul to the group. He's the muscle, but he's also the most grounded. He doesn't talk much about feelings, but you can feel everything he's holding inside. He misses how things used to be. He worries about Reed and Sue. He worries about Johnny. He tries to be the glue holding them all together. Ben spends his time helping kids in his community, showing a gentle side behind his rocky skin. He even finds a quiet connection with someone unexpected, a schoolteacher who sees him for who he is. Ben's story is about finding peace with himself. He can't change how he looks, but he can choose how to live and who to stand by. His loyalty never fades, even when things fall apart. The bond between these four characters is what gives the story its weight. They argue, they drift apart, but when everything is on the line, they come back together. Their powers aren't what make them special. It's their care for each other. That connection makes every scene feel real, even in the middle of cosmic chaos. Opposite them stands the Silver Surfer. She isn't angry or cruel. She's sad. Her voice is calm, but her message is terrifying. Galactus is coming. Her presence brings mystery and tragedy. She once had a life, maybe even a family, before she became a herald of Galactus. She warns Earth not because she wants to, but because she must. She's trapped by duty. Her every move speaks of sorrow and power. She becomes more than just a messenger. She becomes a mirror for the Fantastic Four. Where they still have choices, she lost hers long ago. And then there's Galactus. He isn't a villain in the usual way. He doesn't laugh or make threats. He's quiet, distant, and enormous. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, every word feels final. He doesn't hate Earth. He simply consumes it. His presence is terrifying because he doesn't need to explain himself. He's not evil. He's inevitable. His voice rumbles like the end of time. You don't fight Galactus like a normal enemy, you survive him. And that makes him even scarier. There are other characters who add depth to the story. A friendly robot assistant named Herbie helps Reed with his research. It has personality, humor, and gives Reed someone to talk to in quiet moments. A schoolteacher becomes an unexpected connection for Ben, helping him feel seen beyond his rocky form. These side characters don't just fill space. They add warmth and make the world feel lived in. Even small roles, like a talk show host or a government official, reflect the world's fear and confusion. Some people support the team. Others blame them. These reactions make the threat feel real, not just cosmic but personal. The Fantastic Four aren't just fighting a giant in the sky. They're fighting public doubt, family strain, and their own inner fears. By the end of the first half, each character has taken a step forward and some steps back. Sue moves from quiet support to fierce protector. Reed starts to trust his heart more than his head. Johnny drops his jokes and faces what matters. Ben stays steady, but learns to hope again. The Silver Surfer begins to doubt her own duty. Galactus gets closer. From the very beginning, the making of the Fantastic Four First Steps was a race against time. The production started filming in late July 2024, with a tight deadline to release the film by late July 2025. This put enormous pressure on the visual effects teams, who worked grueling hours to deliver stunning effects in less than a year. Many artists described it as a marathon of creativity and exhaustion, pushing the limits to meet the deadline while maintaining high quality. Director Matt Shakman chose to take a different path from the usual heavy CGI approach. He wanted the film to feel real and grounded, even in the cosmic parts. To do this, the team built large practical sets and used physical miniatures for the spaceship and city scenes. For example, they constructed a 14-foot model of the Fantasticar rather than relying only on digital models. This old-school method gave the film a tangible, textured feel that helped the actors immerse themselves in the world. The movie's look is deeply inspired by the classic 1960s comics, especially the work of Jack Kirby. The production team recreated parts of New York to feel like the world Kirby imagined, complete with retro neon signs, architecture, and even the famous Yancey Street neighborhood. These details weren't just decorations. They helped bring the comic book world into reality and gave the movie a nostalgic but fresh vibe. When it came to casting, Shakman made an unusual choice. Instead of traditional on-camera chemistry tests, he trusted his instincts and cast actors he had admired for years. This decision worked wonders. The leads, Eben Moss-Backrack, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and Joseph Quinn, spent weeks rehearsing together before filming. They studied old NASA press conferences and practiced scenes like a theater troupe, which helped build a strong bond and made their interactions feel genuine on screen. Vanessa Kirby's role brought a unique challenge. To portray her character's pregnancy authentically, she wore a fake baby bump filled with rice. But the extra weight caused her back pain and discomfort, even more than she experienced during her real pregnancy. She later joked that the fake bump was tougher than the real thing. Pedro Pascal, who plays Reed Richards, faced some early doubts from fans because his portrayal of Reed is more serious and intellectual, rather than focusing on the character's physical elasticity. Pascal embraced this, describing Reed as a thinker with a brain like an octopus, multitasking and deeply intelligent. He also credited Marvel veteran Robert Downey Jr. with giving him advice on navigating the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The visual effects for Ben Grimm, The Thing, mixed motion capture with practical effects. Eben Mossbackrack sometimes wore a full costume or had stand-ins on set, so other actors could interact with a physical presence rather than an empty space. The VFX team even used real rocks as references to make the Thing's skin texture feel lifelike and natural. Interestingly, the actor playing Galactus, Ralph Ineson, wore a full physical costume during filming instead of relying solely on CGI. This helped the other actors react naturally to his presence and gave Galactus a real sense of scale and weight on screen. The combination of practical costume and digital effects made the character feel more imposing and less like a floating computer-generated image. During production, directors Anthony and Joe Russo stopped by the set. They are set to direct the upcoming Avengers film that will include the Fantastic Four, so their visit helped build connections and consistency across the Marvel movies. This behind-the-scenes collaboration helped ensure the Fantastic Four fit smoothly into the larger Marvel universe. Another creative choice was the use of different aspect ratios for the film. Some early scenes, like astronaut training footage, were shot in the old 4:3 ratio to resemble vintage newsreels. The rest of the film stayed in widescreen. This subtle detail helped immerse viewers in the story's time period and added to the nostalgic feel. One unexpected and emotional moment involved John Malkovich, who filmed scenes as the villain Red Ghost. However, during editing, all of his scenes were cut from the final film. Though heartbreaking, Malkovich accepted the decision gracefully and expressed appreciation for being part of the project. The little robot assistant, Herbie, combined puppetry, animatronics, and CGI to give it personality and presence. Instead of making it a fully digital character, the filmmakers wanted Herbie to feel real on set, able to interact with the actors naturally. Even the smallest production choices showed the care poured into the film. From the rice-filled baby bump to the physical Galactus suit and the detailed sets, every detail was chosen to make the story feel authentic and heartfelt. In the end, these behind-the-scenes stories reveal a film made with passion, creativity, and respect for its source material. The Fantastic Four: First Steps isn't just a flashy superhero movie. It's a carefully crafted story brought to life by a dedicated team working under tough conditions. The blend of practical effects, strong performances, and thoughtful design helped create a fresh and memorable take on this beloved team, setting the stage for even bigger adventures to come. From the opening moments, the Fantastic Four: First Steps hooks viewers not just with spectacle but with heart. One of the earliest scenes that stands out is the shuttle launch sequence. This scene isn't just about rockets blasting off. It perfectly sets the tone for the entire movie. The tension in the control room, the anxious faces of the astronauts, and the quiet, focused determination show us this is a story about real people facing incredible odds. The use of practical effects here, the sound of engines roaring, the vibration you can almost feel, pulls the audience into the raw experience of space travel. Emotionally, it connects us to these characters before their powers even emerge, making what happens later all the more impactful. Right after the launch, the moment when the cosmic storm hits the shuttle is a masterclass in building suspense. The screen floods with dazzling light and chaos, mirroring the characters' loss of control. The scene's chaos foreshadows the inner turmoil they will face, making it clear this adventure won't just be physical but deeply personal. Audience reactions to this moment were intense. Many viewers recalled holding their breath as the ship seemed doomed. It's not just a flashy visual effect. It's a turning point, marking the end of normal life and the start of something new and uncertain. Once the characters return, the film moves quickly into exploring their new realities. One standout scene is Reed Richards' struggle to understand and control his stretching abilities. What makes this moment special is the mix of wonder and frustration. Reed is a brilliant scientist, yet his own body betrays him in unpredictable ways. This sets up a theme that runs through the film: the tension between control and chaos. The audience feels his vulnerability, which grounds the otherwise fantastical powers in very human emotions. This moment deepens the connection between viewers and Reed, inviting us to root for his growth. Another powerful scene is Sue Storm's discovery of her invisibility and force fields. The film shows her testing these powers quietly at first, with gentle humor and wonder. But it quickly becomes clear she also struggles with what this means for her identity and relationships. The emotional depth here is striking. She's not just excited to be a superhero. She's grappling with how her transformation affects her role as a wife and mother. This adds layers of complexity and realism, showing that powers don't erase personal challenges, but complicate them. The audience's emotional response is often mixed: joy at her discovery and empathy for her internal conflict. Ben Grimm's transformation into the Thing brings some of the most emotionally charged moments. The film carefully builds his arc, highlighting his anger, pain, and gradual acceptance. A scene that resonated deeply shows Ben alone in his room, touching his rocky skin, haunted by what he's become. His physical appearance separates him from others, yet his heart remains the same. This duality captures the classic tragedy of his character and invites viewers to look beyond the surface. Audience reactions often include empathy and sadness, as Ben embodies the struggle of feeling like an outsider. This emotional core adds weight to the action scenes that follow. Johnny Storm's fiery powers bring energy and humor, but also recklessness and fear of losing control. One key moment is when Johnny accidentally burns down part of the lab during training. The film uses this not just for comic relief but to explore his struggle with responsibility. His youthful impulsiveness contrasts with Reed's caution, creating natural conflict and growth. This dynamic drives much of the story's tension and highlights themes of maturity and teamwork. The audience enjoys Johnny's charm but also roots for him to learn and grow. The family dynamic between these four is a thread woven throughout the film, and one scene perfectly captures this: a quiet dinner after a tough day. Instead of superhero action, the camera lingers on their interactions. Moments of frustration, laughter, support, and misunderstanding. It humanizes them beyond their powers, showing that their greatest strength might be their bond. Thematically, it reinforces the film's focus on family, trust, and sacrifice. Many viewers say this scene made the Fantastic Four feel relatable and real, deepening their investment in the story. The introduction of the villain, Galactus, is handled with surprising subtlety. Rather than overwhelming the screen with a flashy monster, the film uses shadow, sound, and suggestion to build dread. When Galactus finally appears in full, it's a towering, armored figure whose presence feels heavy and ominous. This approach adds tension and mystery, making the threat feel larger than life but grounded in physical reality. The audience's reaction is a mix of awe and fear, and it raises the stakes for the heroes in a way that feels earned. A turning point comes when Reed Richards devises a risky plan to confront Galactus. The scene is filled with tension and hope, showing Reed's growth from uncertain scientist to confident leader. His speech to the team, full of determination and vulnerability, captures the film's heart. It's a moment of unity and courage, underscoring themes of facing fear together. Audiences often find this scene inspiring, as it moves beyond spectacle to explore the power of teamwork and trust. The climax combines intense action with emotional payoff. The battle scenes are thrilling, but what truly stands out is the way each character uses their powers in uniquely personal ways, reflecting their growth. Sue's force fields protect the team, Johnny's flames create openings, Ben's strength anchors their defense, and Reed's intellect guides their strategy. The choreography balances chaos with clear storytelling, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats while deepening emotional connections. In the aftermath, the film doesn't rush to a neat ending. Instead, It shows the characters dealing with the consequences of their choices. This grounded approach gives the story weight and honesty. The final scenes emphasize hope and new beginnings but acknowledge uncertainty. This bittersweet tone resonates strongly, leaving audiences reflecting on the character's journey rather than just the spectacle. Throughout the film, the use of music and sound design supports these key moments perfectly. Quiet scenes use minimal, gentle melodies that invite introspection, while action scenes burst with energetic, dynamic scores that amplify excitement without overpowering emotions. The balance helps guide viewers' feelings and keeps the story immersive. Critics and fans alike have praised how these moments balance spectacle with heart, making the Fantastic Four first steps stand out in a genre often criticized for prioritizing effects over story. The film's emotional depth, complex characters, and thoughtful themes invite repeated viewings and discussions. In the end, the film succeeds because it doesn't just show heroes fighting villains. It shows people growing, struggling, and coming together. These critical moments, full of tension, hope, fear, and love, shape an experience that stays with viewers long after the credits roll. They remind us that true power comes from connection and courage, a timeless message wrapped in an exciting, fresh superhero tale. From the very start, the Fantastic Four First Steps invites us to look beyond the action and powers, encouraging a deeper reflection on what it means to be human. At its core, the film explores the theme of transformation, not just physical but emotional and social. The characters undergo extraordinary changes, but these changes force them to confront who they really are beneath the surface. This idea runs like a thread through the entire story, asking viewers to think about identity, acceptance, and the struggle to find belonging in a world that often feels alien and overwhelming. Reed Richards' transformation symbolizes the tension between control and chaos. As a brilliant scientist, Reed is used to understanding and mastering the world through logic and reason. His stretching abilities, his body becoming unpredictable and uncontrollable, mirror the internal conflict of trying to hold on to certainty in a world that refuses to stay still. His journey reflects a broader human experience, facing uncertainty and learning to adapt, rather than controlling everything. This theme resonates with anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by change but found strength in flexibility. Sue Storm's powers of invisibility and force fields serve as powerful symbols for privacy and boundaries. In a world increasingly connected and exposed, her invisibility reflects the desire to retreat, to protect oneself from outside pressures and judgments. At the same time, her force fields show the need to create barriers that keep loved ones safe. Her arc explores the balance between openness and protection, a struggle many viewers can relate to in their personal relationships and social lives. The film subtly raises questions about how much we share with the world and when we need to shield ourselves to maintain our well-being. Ben Grimm, transformed into the Thing, embodies the theme of otherness and acceptance. His rocky exterior is a visible mark of difference that alienates him from society and even from himself. Yet, his character challenges the idea that appearance defines value. Beneath his tough, rough exterior lies a loyal, kind-hearted soul. This duality speaks to the real-world experiences of people who feel marginalized or judged for their differences. The film doesn't shy away from showing Ben's pain but also celebrates his resilience, making a statement about embracing diversity and the humanity in everyone. Johnny Storm's fiery powers symbolize youth, energy, and sometimes recklessness. His character represents the challenge of growing up and learning responsibility while holding on to passion and individuality. His struggles with control and impulsiveness mirror the journey many young people face, making him a relatable figure for younger viewers. Through Johnny, the film highlights the importance of learning from mistakes and growing into one's potential, a universal message wrapped in his bright, blazing abilities. Together, these four characters form a family, and the film uses this dynamic to explore themes of trust, loyalty, and sacrifice. The Fantastic Four aren't just teammates. They are bound by deep personal connections that help them overcome external threats. Their relationship shows how families, whether born or chosen, provide strength and support during times of crisis. This theme is especially meaningful in today's society, where the definition of family is evolving and communities of support are essential. Symbolism is woven throughout the movie's visual design as well. The cosmic storm that grants the characters their powers symbolizes the unpredictable forces that change lives without warning. It's both a destructive and creative force, reminding viewers that moments of chaos can lead to growth and new beginnings. This dual nature of change challenges the traditional good versus evil narrative and encourages a more nuanced understanding of transformation. Galactus, the imposing villain, symbolizes existential threats that loom over humanity, forces that are vast, impersonal, and seemingly unstoppable. His hunger and destruction can be seen as metaphors for environmental crises, social upheaval, or even the overwhelming pace of technological change. The film uses Galactus not just as a monster to defeat, but as a representation of challenges that require collective courage and innovation to face. The film also touches on social commentary through its diverse cast and character backgrounds. By choosing actors from varied ethnicities and nationalities, the movie reflects a modern, inclusive vision of heroism. This diversity is not just cosmetic. It shapes the characters' perspectives and interactions, enriching the story with different experiences and viewpoints. This approach subtly advocates for representation and inclusion in storytelling, highlighting the importance of seeing a range of identities in popular culture. Moreover, the film explores the pressures of public scrutiny and media in shaping the characters' lives. Scenes showing news reports and public reactions to the Fantastic Four emphasize how heroes are not just fighting villains. They're also navigating fame, fear, and expectation. This mirrors real-world experiences of public figures and anyone under the watchful eye of society, questioning how much people can truly be themselves under constant observation. The use of the Fantasticar, a flying car that symbolizes freedom and exploration, further reinforces themes of adventure and the human desire to push boundaries. It represents the hope of breaking free from limitations, whether physical, social, or personal. The characters' journeys in this vehicle highlight their quest not just to save the world, but to find their own place in it. Finally, the film's ending, which balances hope with uncertainty, speaks to the ongoing nature of growth and change. Rather than offering a neat resolution, it acknowledges that life is full of challenges that must be faced continuously. This honest, open-ended conclusion encourages viewers to think about their own journeys, reminding us all that transformation is an ongoing process. Throughout the movie, subtle symbols like the recurring motif of stars and light suggest guidance and possibility. Light is used to represent knowledge, hope, and the spark of humanity even in the darkest moments. These visual cues enrich the narrative without overwhelming it, adding layers of meaning that invite reflection. In all, the Fantastic Four: First Steps blends thrilling adventure with thoughtful exploration of identity, family, and change. Its symbolism and social commentary ground the cosmic story in relatable human experiences, making it not only entertaining but meaningful. The film's themes resonate beyond the screen, encouraging viewers to embrace uncertainty, value connection, and recognize strength in difference. This powerful mix is why the story stays with us, inviting us to look deeper at ourselves and the world around us. From the very start, the Fantastic Four: First Steps invites us to look beyond the action and powers, encouraging a deeper reflection on what it means to be human. At its core, the film explores the theme of transformation, not just physical but emotional and social. The characters undergo extraordinary changes, but these changes force them to confront who they really are beneath the surface. This idea runs like a thread through the entire story, asking viewers to think about identity, acceptance, and the struggle to find belonging in a world that often feels alien and overwhelming. Reed Richards' transformation symbolizes the tension between control and chaos. As a brilliant scientist, Reed is used to understanding and mastering the world through logic and reason. His stretching abilities, his body becoming unpredictable and uncontrollable, mirror the internal conflict of trying to hold on to certainty in a world that refuses to stay still. His journey reflects a broader human experience, facing uncertainty and learning to adapt, rather than controlling everything. This theme resonates with anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by change but found strength in flexibility. Sue Storm's powers of invisibility and force fields serve as powerful symbols for privacy and boundaries. In a world increasingly connected and exposed, her invisibility reflects the desire to retreat, to protect oneself from outside pressures and judgments. At the same time, her force fields show the need to create barriers that keep loved ones safe. Her arc explores the balance between openness and protection, a struggle many viewers can relate to in their personal relationships and social lives. The film subtly raises questions about how much we share with the world and when we need to shield ourselves to maintain our well-being. Ben Grimm, transformed into the Thing, embodies the theme of otherness and acceptance. His rocky exterior is a visible mark of difference that alienates him from society and even from himself. Yet, his character challenges the idea that appearance defines value. Beneath his tough, rough exterior lies a loyal, kind-hearted soul. This duality speaks to the real-world experiences of people who feel marginalized or judged for their differences. The film doesn't shy away from showing Ben's pain but also celebrates his resilience, making a statement about embracing diversity and the humanity in everyone. Johnny Storm's fiery powers symbolize youth, energy, and sometimes recklessness. His character represents the challenge of growing up and learning responsibility while holding on to passion and individuality. His struggles with control and impulsiveness mirror the journey many young people face, making him a relatable figure for younger viewers. Through Johnny, the film highlights the importance of learning from mistakes and growing into one's potential, a universal message wrapped in his bright, blazing abilities. Together, these four characters form a family, and the film uses this dynamic to explore themes of trust, loyalty, and sacrifice. The Fantastic Four aren't just teammates. They are bound by deep personal connections that help them overcome external threats. Their relationship shows how families, whether born or chosen, provide strength and support during times of crisis. This theme is especially meaningful in today's society, where the definition of family is evolving and communities of support are essential. Symbolism is woven throughout the movie's visual design as well. The cosmic storm that grants the characters their powers symbolizes the unpredictable forces that change lives without warning. It's both a destructive and creative force, reminding viewers that moments of chaos can lead to growth and new beginnings. This dual nature of change challenges the traditional good versus evil narrative and encourages a more nuanced understanding of transformation. Galactus, the imposing villain, symbolizes existential threats that loom over humanity, forces that are vast, impersonal, and seemingly unstoppable. His hunger and destruction can be seen as metaphors for environmental crises, social upheaval, or even the overwhelming pace of technological change. The film uses Galactus not just as a monster to defeat, but as a representation of challenges that require collective courage and innovation to face. The film also touches on social commentary through its diverse cast and character backgrounds. By choosing actors from varied ethnicities and nationalities, the movie reflects a modern, inclusive vision of heroism. This diversity is not just cosmetic. It shapes the characters' perspectives and interactions, enriching the story with different experiences and viewpoints. This approach subtly advocates for representation and inclusion in storytelling, highlighting the importance of seeing a range of identities in popular culture. Moreover, the film explores the pressures of public scrutiny and media in shaping the characters' lives. Scenes showing news reports and public reactions to the Fantastic Four emphasize how heroes are not just fighting villains. They're also navigating fame, fear, and expectation. This mirrors real-world experiences of public figures and anyone under the watchful eye of society, questioning how much people can truly be themselves under constant observation. The use of the Fantastic Car, a flying car that symbolizes freedom and exploration, further reinforces themes of adventure and the human desire to push boundaries. It represents the hope of breaking free from limitations, whether physical, social, or personal. The characters' journeys in this vehicle highlight their quest not just to save the world, but to find their own place in it. Finally, the film's ending, which balances hope with uncertainty, speaks to the ongoing nature of growth and change. Rather than offering a neat resolution, it acknowledges that life is full of challenges that must be faced continuously. This honest, open-ended conclusion encourages viewers to think about their own journeys, reminding us all that transformation is an ongoing process. Throughout the movie, subtle symbols like the recurring motif of stars and light suggest guidance and possibility. Light is used to represent knowledge, hope, and the spark of humanity even in the darkest moments. These visual cues enrich the narrative without overwhelming it, adding layers of meaning that invite reflection. In all, the Fantastic Four: First Steps blends thrilling adventure with thoughtful exploration of identity, family, and change. Its symbolism and social commentary ground the cosmic story in relatable human experiences, making it not only entertaining but meaningful. The film's themes resonate beyond the screen, encouraging viewers to embrace uncertainty, value connection, and recognize strength in difference. This powerful mix is why the story stays with us, inviting us to look deeper at ourselves and the world around us. From the very start, the Fantastic Four: First Steps invites us to look beyond the action and powers, encouraging a deeper reflection on what it means to be human. At its core, the film explores the theme of transformation, not just physical but emotional and social. The characters undergo extraordinary changes, but these changes force them to confront who they really are beneath the surface. This idea runs like a thread through the entire story, asking viewers to think about identity, acceptance, and the struggle to find belonging in a world that often feels alien and overwhelming. Reed Richards' transformation symbolizes the tension between control and chaos. As a brilliant scientist, Reed is used to understanding and mastering the world through logic and reason. His stretching abilities, his body becoming unpredictable and uncontrollable, mirror the internal conflict of trying to hold on to certainty in a world that refuses to stay still. His journey reflects a broader human experience, facing uncertainty and learning to adapt, rather than controlling everything. This theme resonates with anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by change but found strength in flexibility. Sue Storm's powers of invisibility and force fields serve as powerful symbols for privacy and boundaries. In a world increasingly connected and exposed, her invisibility reflects the desire to retreat, to protect oneself from outside pressures and judgments. At the same time, her force fields show the need to create barriers that keep loved ones safe. Her arc explores the balance between openness and protection, a struggle many viewers can relate to in their personal relationships and social lives. The film subtly raises questions about how much we share with the world and when we need to shield ourselves to maintain our well-being. Ben Grimm, transformed into the Thing, embodies the theme of otherness and acceptance. His rocky exterior is a visible mark of difference that alienates him from society and even from himself. Yet, his character challenges the idea that appearance defines value. Beneath his tough, rough exterior lies a loyal, kind-hearted soul. This duality speaks to the real-world experiences of people who feel marginalized or judged for their differences. The film doesn't shy away from showing Ben's pain but also celebrates his resilience, making a statement about embracing diversity and the humanity in everyone. Johnny Storm's fiery powers symbolize youth, energy, and sometimes recklessness. His character represents the challenge of growing up and learning responsibility while holding on to passion and individuality. His struggles with control and impulsiveness mirror the journey many young people face, making him a relatable figure for younger viewers. Through Johnny, the film highlights the importance of learning from mistakes and growing into one's potential, a universal message wrapped in his bright, blazing abilities. Together, these four characters form a family, and the film uses this dynamic to explore themes of trust, loyalty, and sacrifice. The Fantastic Four aren't just teammates. They are bound by deep personal connections that help them overcome external threats. Their relationship shows how families, whether born or chosen, provide strength and support during times of crisis. This theme is especially meaningful in today's society, where the definition of family is evolving and communities of support are essential. Symbolism is woven throughout the movie's visual design as well. The cosmic storm that grants the characters their powers symbolizes the unpredictable forces that change lives without warning. It's both a destructive and creative force, reminding viewers that moments of chaos can lead to growth and new beginnings. This dual nature of change challenges the traditional good versus evil narrative and encourages a more nuanced understanding of transformation. Galactus, the imposing villain, symbolizes existential threats that loom over humanity, forces that are vast, impersonal, and seemingly unstoppable. His hunger and destruction can be seen as metaphors for environmental crises, social upheaval, or even the overwhelming pace of technological change. The film uses Galactus not just as a monster to defeat, but as a representation of challenges that require collective courage and innovation to face. The film also touches on social commentary through its diverse cast and character backgrounds. By choosing actors from varied ethnicities and nationalities, the movie reflects a modern, inclusive vision of heroism. This diversity is not just cosmetic. It shapes the characters' perspectives and interactions, enriching the story with different experiences and viewpoints. This approach subtly advocates for representation and inclusion in storytelling, highlighting the importance of seeing a range of identities in popular culture. Moreover, the film explores the pressures of public scrutiny and media in shaping the characters' lives. Scenes showing news reports and public reactions to the Fantastic Four emphasize how heroes are not just fighting villains. They're also navigating fame, fear, and expectation. This mirrors real-world experiences of public figures and anyone under the watchful eye of society, questioning how much people can truly be themselves under constant observation. The use of the Fantasticar, a flying car that symbolizes freedom and exploration, further reinforces themes of adventure and the human desire to push boundaries. It represents the hope of breaking free from limitations, whether physical, social, or personal. The characters' journeys in this vehicle highlight their quest not just to save the world, but to find their own place in it. Finally, the film's ending, which balances hope with uncertainty, speaks to the ongoing nature of growth and change. Rather than offering a neat resolution, it acknowledges that life is full of challenges that must be faced continuously. This honest, open-ended conclusion encourages viewers to think about their own journeys, reminding us all that transformation is an ongoing process. Throughout the movie, subtle symbols like the recurring motif of stars and light suggest guidance and possibility. Light is used to represent knowledge, hope, and the spark of humanity even in the darkest moments. These visual cues enrich the narrative without overwhelming it, adding layers of meaning that invite reflection. In all, the Fantastic Four: First Steps blends thrilling adventure with thoughtful exploration of identity, family, and change. Its symbolism and social commentary ground the cosmic story in relatable human experiences, making it not only entertaining but meaningful. The film's themes resonate beyond the screen, encouraging viewers to embrace uncertainty, value connection, and recognize strength in difference. This powerful mix is why the story stays with us, inviting us to look deeper at ourselves and the world around us. From the very first frame of the Fantastic Four: First Steps, the film's visual style captures attention with a careful balance of classic comic book flair and modern cinematic polish. The director, Matt Shakman, brings a clear vision to life through every shot, using color, lighting, and camera movement to deepen the story's emotional impact and immerse viewers in the character's world. The cinematography plays a key role in shaping the mood throughout the film. Early scenes set in space and the shuttle launch feature wide, expansive shots that emphasize the vastness and loneliness of the cosmos. These shots create a sense of awe but also vulnerability, reminding the audience how small and fragile the characters are against the backdrop of the universe. The use of deep blues and blacks in these sequences gives a cold, mysterious feel, contrasting sharply with the warm, vibrant colors seen later on Earth. Once the characters return and their powers emerge, the cinematography shifts to more intimate framing. Close-ups capture their reactions: wonder, fear, frustration, helping viewers connect emotionally. The camera often lingers on faces, emphasizing the personal stakes beneath the superhero action. This technique grounds the film, preventing it from becoming just a flashy spectacle and reminding us that this is a story about real people. Lighting is another powerful tool the filmmakers use to tell the story visually. In moments of discovery, such as when Sue first realizes she can become invisible, soft, glowing light surrounds her, symbolizing transformation and hope. In darker scenes, like Ben Grimm's struggles with his new form, harsh shadows highlight his isolation and inner conflict. This contrast between light and dark supports the film's themes of identity and acceptance without needing a word of dialogue. The editing style helps maintain a steady rhythm that balances suspense and character development. Action scenes are cut tightly, with quick, precise edits that keep the energy high and the stakes clear. But the film also allows slower moments to breathe, using longer takes to build tension or highlight emotional beats. For example, the sequence where Reed stretches to save his team is given a steady pace, letting the audience fully appreciate both the physical and emotional challenge he faces. One particularly clever use of editing is how the film blends practical effects with digital animation. Instead of fully relying on CGI, many scenes incorporate real sets and physical props. The visual effects team then enhances these elements digitally, creating a seamless integration that feels tangible and real. This choice reflects the director's desire to make the Fantastic Four's world believable and grounded, despite the fantastic powers involved. Sound design plays a vital role in shaping the film's atmosphere. The sounds of space, the hum of machinery, the subtle breathing in helmets, the distant echoes, are carefully layered to build tension and immersion. When the cosmic storm hits, the sound crescendos into a chaotic blend of winds, crackling energy, and breaking metal, making the danger feel immediate and visceral. These details pull the audience deeper into the story's physical reality. Music by composer Michael Giacchino underscores the film's emotional journey beautifully. The score shifts effortlessly between sweeping orchestral themes during heroic moments and quieter, more intimate melodies when focusing on character struggles. The music often uses rising motifs to build hope and anticipation, while darker themes signal danger or internal conflict. This careful musical balance keeps the audience emotionally engaged throughout. The director's choice to incorporate vintage-style visuals during flashbacks and training scenes adds another unique layer. For example, some sequences are presented with grainy textures and a slightly muted color palette, resembling old news footage or NASA archives. This stylistic choice helps root the story in a recognizable reality and adds a nostalgic touch that honors the Fantastic Four's comic book origins. Camera movement is used expressively to follow the character's development. Early in the film, handheld shots give a sense of immediacy and unpredictability, reflecting the character's confusion and turmoil. As they grow more confident and united, the camera work becomes smoother and more controlled, symbolizing their increasing mastery over their powers and their destiny. This subtle evolution reinforces the narrative without needing explicit explanation. The use of wide shots during team moments emphasizes the group's unity and scale. For instance, during the final battle, the camera pulls back to show the Fantastic Four standing together against the looming threat of Galactus. This visual composition underlines the film's theme of strength through connection and shared purpose. Color grading throughout the movie also plays a significant role. Warm tones dominate scenes on Earth, evoking familiarity and comfort, while cooler, more muted tones mark moments of tension and danger. This contrast not only sets mood, but also helps viewers navigate the shifting emotional landscape. Another noteworthy visual choice is the design of the characters' costumes. Instead of flashy, over-the-top suits, the filmmakers opted for functional, practical designs that reflect each character's personality and role. The costumes use textures and subtle details to feel believable. Stretchable fabrics for Reed, protective armor elements for Ben, and sleek, tactical gear for Sue and Johnny. This approach supports the film's grounded tone and enhances immersion. The visual storytelling extends even to small details. For example, the recurring imagery of shattered glass appears during moments of conflict and change, symbolizing fragility and the breaking of old boundaries. Similarly, reflections and mirrors are used during scenes of self-doubt, visually representing the characters confronting their new identities. Together, these cinematic techniques create a rich, layered experience that invites the audience to feel the story as much as see it. The film's visual language is not just decoration but an essential part of storytelling, weaving mood, theme, and character into every frame. In the end, the Fantastic Four, First Steps stands out because of this thoughtful blend of visuals, sound, and editing. It's a film that respects its audience, trusting them to pick up on subtle cues and engage with its deeper meanings. The director's vision shines through in every choice, making this not just another superhero movie but a cinematic journey full of heart, style, and substance. One of the most striking things about the Fantastic Four First Steps is the way the actors genuinely seem connected, and this chemistry brings the story to life in a way that resonates deeply with audiences. From the very beginning of filming, the cast developed close bonds, and those relationships shine through in their performances, making the Fantastic Four feel like a real family rather than just a group of heroes thrown together by fate. The chemistry between John Krasinski, Reed Richards, and Emily Blunt, Sue Storm, is especially powerful. Having previously worked together in other projects, their natural rapport added layers of authenticity to their on-screen relationship. Their scenes together balance warmth and tension perfectly, reflecting the complex emotions of partners dealing with extraordinary circumstances. Viewers often mention how their interactions feel genuine, full of subtle glances and touches that communicate deep understanding and love beyond dialogue. This believable connection makes the challenges they face more compelling and heartfelt. Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm brings a youthful energy that contrasts with the more measured tones of Krasinski and Blunt. His playful banter and spontaneous humor add lightness to the film, but beneath that is a vulnerability that Jordan conveys masterfully. His dynamic with Jamie Bell, who plays Ben Grimm, is another highlight. Their friendship on screen feels lived in, marked by teasing and support, mirroring the classic odd couple dynamic from the comics. This balance between humor and emotional depth helps ground the film and makes the characters relatable, even amidst cosmic battles. Jamie Bell's portrayal of Ben Grimm is often praised for its emotional honesty. The physical transformation required for his character demanded long hours in makeup and prosthetics, yet Bell remained fully engaged in his role. Behind the scenes, Bell and Jordan developed a close friendship, which translated into their characters' bond. Their off-camera camaraderie helped create scenes that feel spontaneous and sincere, such as moments of shared frustration or encouragement. These relationships add authenticity to the story's heart, reminding viewers that the Fantastic Four is first and foremost about connection. Director Matt Shakman encouraged improvisation and collaboration on set, allowing the actors to bring personal touches to their roles. For instance, many of Johnny's humorous remarks were improvised by Jordan, adding freshness and relatability. This openness created a relaxed atmosphere during filming, which the cast credits for helping them explore their characters more deeply. The resulting performances benefit from this trust and creative freedom, delivering moments that feel alive and unscripted. Behind the scenes, the set was described as warm and supportive, fostering a strong team spirit. The challenging technical aspects of filming, like working with elaborate costumes and special effects, could have made the experience difficult, but the cast's mutual encouragement kept morale high. Stories from the shoot tell of late-night rehearsals where the actors shared stories and jokes, bonding over the shared challenge of bringing such iconic characters to life. This environment translated into a visible camaraderie on screen, enhancing the film's emotional impact. Audience reactions to this chemistry have been overwhelmingly positive. Early screenings showed viewers responding most strongly to the group scenes, where the interplay between characters creates both tension and warmth. Fans have highlighted how the cast's believable relationships elevate the stakes of the story, making the threats feel personal rather than just physical. Social media buzz frequently praises the ensemble's dynamic, noting that the characters feel like people you could know, not just superheroes. Critics, too, have noted that the cast's chemistry sets this film apart from other superhero movies. Reviews often single out the performances as the emotional core, crediting the actors for grounding the extraordinary story in real human experiences. This praise reflects a growing appreciation for superhero films that emphasize character development alongside action, and the Fantastic Four. First Steps is a clear example of that trend. Long-term fan engagement shows that the cast's chemistry has lasting effects. Online communities and fan forums frequently discuss favorite character moments that hinge on relationships rather than fight scenes. The actors' interactions during promotional events and interviews further fueled this connection, with many fans expressing admiration not just for the characters but for the real friendships that formed. This connection helps maintain enthusiasm for the franchise and builds anticipation for future installments. The collaborative spirit on set extended beyond the actors to include the crew. Cinematographers, costume designers, and special effects teams worked closely with the actors to ensure that performances were enhanced rather than hindered by technical demands. For example, the design of Ben Grimm's costume required careful coordination to allow Jamie Bell to express emotion through limited facial movement. The success of this design speaks to the dedication of the entire team to support the actors' work and maintain authenticity. In interviews, the cast frequently credits director Matt Shakman's leadership style for fostering this positive environment. His focus on character-driven storytelling, combined with a flexible and open approach, made the actors feel valued and motivated. This atmosphere is evident on screen, where the balance of humor, tension, and warmth feels natural rather than forced. Fan events and premieres offered further insight into audience connection with the cast. Q&A sessions revealed the actors' genuine enthusiasm for their roles and their respect for the source material. Fans appreciated hearing how the actors related personally to their characters, adding another layer to the viewing experience. This openness strengthened the bond between the film and its audience, making the Fantastic Four's journey feel like a shared adventure. The film's release sparked vibrant discussions online, with many viewers praising how the actors' chemistry brought emotional depth to what could have been a typical superhero origin story. This response highlights a shift in audience expectations, valuing character relationships as much as spectacle. The Fantastic Four's portrayal as a family navigating complex emotions resonated broadly, creating a lasting impact that keeps fans returning to the film. In summary, the success of the Fantastic Four First Steps owes much to the authentic connections between its actors. Their chemistry elevates the story, turning superheroes into relatable individuals. Behind-the-scenes friendships and collaboration shaped these performances, while audience and critical responses confirm the power of this dynamic. The cast's interplay creates a rich, immersive experience that stands out in the superhero genre and promises exciting future stories grounded in heart and humanity. As we come to the close of this deep dive into the Fantastic Four First Steps, it's clear why this film stands apart in the crowded landscape of superhero movies. From its compelling characters to its thoughtful storytelling, every element works together to create an experience that's both thrilling and meaningful. The movie doesn't just entertain with spectacular powers and cosmic battles. It invites us to reflect on identity, family, and the courage it takes to face change. What truly defines this film is its heart. The characters are not just heroes. They are people we can relate to, each with struggles, fears, and hopes. Their journeys feel personal because of the remarkable performances, the natural chemistry, and the way the story honors their humanity. The visual storytelling and cinematic techniques wrap the audience in a world that feels both vast and intimate, capturing the awe of space and the warmth of connection. The themes run deep: transformation, acceptance, and unity, all woven subtly through symbolism and social commentary that enrich the narrative without overwhelming it. Whether it's Reed's struggle with control, Sue's search for boundaries, Ben's acceptance of otherness, or Johnny's path to responsibility, these journeys resonate beyond the screen and invite viewers to see parts of themselves in the Fantastic Four. Behind the scenes, the collaboration and dedication of the cast and crew brought this vision to life with passion and creativity. The genuine friendships and creative freedom on set translated into performances full of energy and emotion, making the characters leap off the screen. Audience reactions and critical praise confirm that this approach struck a chord, making the film not only a box office success but a cultural touchstone for fans and newcomers alike. The film's ability to balance spectacle with intimacy, action with emotion, sets a high bar for superhero storytelling. It reminds us that at the core of every epic adventure lies a story about people, about relationships, growth, and the choices that define us. The Fantastic Four First Steps captures that balance beautifully, offering a fresh, heartfelt take on a beloved franchise. If you love this breakdown, Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of cinema. Let's keep exploring movies together. There are countless stories waiting to be uncovered, and I'm excited to take that journey with you. Until next time, keep watching, keep wondering, and keep celebrating the magic of movies.